Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Arcada, and welcome to the Mailbag Showdown. Obviously not on camera today, as you can probably tell. This is because I was a very silly person. At first I thought I was being smart, because I recorded 2 bonus Mailbag Showdowns before I left Ontario for my wonderful trip to Newfoundland. What I was not smart in doing is that I didn't bother to copy the audio files from my desktop to my laptop, and I didn't take my desktop with me, so all I have now is video with no audio, and of course I can't sync that up because that's just gonna be way too much work and it'll look crappy. So instead, you get this wonderful little image of me. Oh, and it can change a bit. See? Not so bad, is it? Okay. Well, because the questions have been piling up, I'm going to do my best to answer as many of them as I can, and hopefully we will somehow get through this chunk and eventually reach the questions that have been sent to me this month. Yes, I'm a little behind. You guys have a lot of questions, a lot more than I would have thought. Anyway, on we go. Hello, good sir. I'd like to get straight to the point. Are you a brony? Why, yes. Yes, I am. Brohoof Arc, my good man. I have 3 questions. Quite a bit much, I know, but I don't know the next time you're going to be doing this, so I want to get all of these out of the way. Number 1. You've already reviewed the Eden of the East TV series, but do you plan on reviewing the 2 Eden movies? If not, could you give me a quick summary of your thoughts on them? This falls under what I mentioned in the official FAQ, wherein, yes, I will probably review everything, and when it comes to the Eden of the East movies, I definitely will review them. I have not seen them as of yet, as by the time they came out, they were already licensed by Funimation, and that means I have to wait until they came out on DVD, and now that they're out on DVD, I just haven't gotten around to buying them. But it is definitely something on my list to do, because, like, Eden of the East was one of my first ever reviews, so it'll be nice to go back and talk about the movies a bit. But I just haven't got there. Next. Have you seen the OVA series Higurashi Kira? What about Yumineko no Naku Koroni, the pretty shitty anime adaptation, not the original visual novel? And what do you think of them? Honestly, when it comes to Higurashi Kira, my thoughts with the entire Higurashi series is that you don't really need to watch anything after Season 2. Everything beyond that is wonderful bonus, and it's great and all, but beyond Kai, you don't need to watch it at all. As for my thoughts on Yumineko, I haven't finished watching Yumineko, and I've only seen the first number of episodes, in which it was very, very interesting. As you say, it is a pretty shitty anime adaptation. I thought it was pretty good in the few first episodes that I watched. Granted, I haven't seen all of it, and of course I know that there are going to be a lot of people who always prefer the original, especially when it comes to things like visual novels like that, and if they prefer the original, then they're just going to say, oh, the anime is crap, and that's fine, so hopefully I won't be tainted by that, since I haven't actually played the original visual novel, but who knows? I do plan to get to it, hopefully before the end of the year. But when it comes to actually reviewing Yumineko, it's not going to happen until I review Higurashi, which I'm still working on. Do you watch AMVs? If so, what are your favorites? I haven't actually watched a lot of AMVs in a long time, mainly because I just haven't had the time. But back in high school, I used to lurk AMV.org a lot. And by a lot, I mean like a lot. So if I have any favorites, they're all from that time. So some of them would be like, there was this one for Haibane Renmei and some other romantic anime that I can't recall the name of. And it was done by a Russian AMV artist called UnkBZ. It had really weird spelling because he had brackets in his name and everything. Either way, he made an AMV called Reflections, I believe was the title. And it was different from most of the AMVs that I watched at the time because it had his own 3D rendered CGI in it, which I thought was really cool. And then how he matched up the rotoscoping of some of the anime scenes to the 3D. I thought it worked really well, and I liked the hell out of it. When it comes to straight editing, probably my 2 favorites would be the obvious Princess Tutu Hold Me Now AMV that hopefully you've seen by now. If not, you should. And there was another one done with Through the Fire and Flames to Fate Stay Night. I think it was called like Fate Eternal Inferno or something like that. It's been a while since I've seen it. I should probably go look it up. But yeah, if I have any favorites, those are mine. Next person for the next question. This question is less about any specific anime and more about the way in which we view and receive programming. I live in the US and I am a subscriber to Hulu Plus. I use that same service to view all kinds of new and interesting animes. There are literally hundreds to enjoy, and I love it. I even watched the whole Bamboo Blade series you recommended there and loved it. Side note, great for you. I love it when people do that. Anyway. My question is, as anime remains a somewhat niche market and will get little actual TV play, what role do you think things like Crunchyroll and Hulu serve in the future of viewing anime, and what do you think that means for their business model? Well, the great thing about, I can talk for Crunchyroll because I haven't actually used Hulu. But when it comes to Crunchyroll, the greatest thing about it is that, for the most part, it's free, and you can watch a whole lot of stuff that's just coming out. I love simulcasts because they're freaking brilliant. Because simulcasts, especially in places like Crunchyroll, they allow you to watch shows that some of the more normal companies like Funimation and all that probably won't actually pick up and put out on DVD. And Crunchyroll offers a way to watch these anime legally, which is great because then you watch an ad before the thing shows up, unless you have ad block on, in which case, for some websites, you're kind of being a dick. I understand ad block, but that's a whole nother ball of wax that I'm not even going to touch right now. But when it comes to the actual business model, I really like it. It's a lot better than all those illegal streaming sites that you can find if you Google it. And yeah, they do have the little paid service so that when a new episode comes out, only the paid users get it first. And that makes sense because they get a lot more money from the paid subscriptions than they would from the ads. And they do pay to stream these shows. So it kind of makes sense of what they're doing. Yeah, it might not be the most convenient, but when it comes to actually supporting the industry and supporting the original creators, it's perfectly fine, and I like that. But as for Crunchyroll and things like Hulu, I do really like their business model. It's probably not the most perfect of ways to go about doing things, but as it stands, they're very good services. Well, again, I can't speak for Hulu, but Crunchyroll's a very good service, and I enjoy using it a lot. Next question. I was wondering if you could recommend some anime for me. I am looking for an anime in the horror, psychological genre, as well as the supernatural or even action genres. Some of the anime I do enjoy and hope to find shows similar to them are Hellsing Ultimate, Soul Eater, Rosen Maiden, Another, Madoka Magica, and Iron No Exorcist. Even something that is similar to the PSP game Corpse Party would be great. My only limits are that they must have a steady pace and not be full of so much fan service. High School of the Dead, etc. And I would greatly appreciate it if you could help me with this conundrum and help me find another anime that I would be glad to add to my shelf. It's funny because you talk about horror psychological and you mention every anime that I would normally recommend for that genre with the exception to one. Higurashi no Naku Koro ni. If you have not seen Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, go watch Higurashi no Naku Koro ni. Seriously, that's the best recommendation I can give you for the shows that you've suggested. And if you've seen it and just forgot to list it, well, let me know and I'll give you another one. And that's it for today, folks. I'll probably have another couple of Mailbag Showdowns with this lack of video because in my current situation, video is not really an option because there are very few places in Newfoundland for me to film video, so it'll be audio only for a bit. Hopefully you don't mind too much, and if you do, well, I'm going to be doing it anyway. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.